Hello creative minds, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marvelous, and on this channel I share pattern drafting, sewing tutorials, fashion hack, fashion tips, and everything fashion related that makes sewing easy and fun. If all of these and more sound like what you're interested in, then do well to hit the subscription button and also turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I post new tutorials. On today's project, I'm going to be showing you how to make this beautiful strapless gown just like you see here. If this looks like what you would like to learn, then stick with me to the end, and I'm going to run you through the process of how I came about this beautiful dress. Without further ado, let's get right into the pattern drafting and also the sewing tutorial. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. So my pattern paper, I've gone ahead to map out my bust point, under bust, and waistline, and I'm going to be including my shoulder line just like I did here, and I'm going to be going down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and I'm going to be connecting like so. So next I'm going to just go ahead and map out my 3 by 3 inches for my neck depths, although we are not going to be needing this, but it's just going to serve as a guide for us when drafting the other parts of our bodies. So next I'm going to go down by 8 inches to be able to get my armhole curve, and I'll label that line and mark it like so, my chest line just like I did here. So next now I'm going to mark my 7.5 inches, what I have at the top part at my shoulder, and I'll replace like so to get a straight line just like I did there. So next I'm going to be going out, my nipple to nipple measurements is 8 inches divided by 2 is 4, and I'm going to be marking that all the way down to my waistline like I did. So next I'm going to be going out for my darts. So for my darts, I'm going to be going out by 1/2 inch first, and I'm going to be going down at my chest line by 1 inch, and I'm going to be connecting it just like I'm doing here. So next I'm going to mark what I have at the top part of my shoulder slope, and I'm going to divide it by 2, get the midpoint, and I'm going to connect it to my chest line like so. So next I'm going to determine where I want the off shoulder to begin. I'm going to be measuring 2.5 inches. So you can do higher and you can do lower, depends on what you want. So next I'm going to be going ahead to determine my armhole curve, which I didn't do earlier. So I'm going to mark my round bust measurement like so, determine the half points of my armhole, and I'm going to connect just like I did here. So next I'm going to be creating my structure for this dress. For my under bust, I'm going to go out at that point by 1 inch, and I'm going to do the same for the other side as well. So I'm going to connect with a straight line to my waistline, and I'm going to connect with a curve to my bust point just like I did. So next I'm going to go ahead and also create a tightening at that point by 1 inch on both sides, and I'm going to connect with a curve as well down like I'm doing here. So I'm just going to highlight all my lines that I'll be needing and take out the ones I won't be needing for you to see it clearly. So next I'm going to be imputing all my round circumference measurements, and I'm going to replacing my dart intake that I took out. So I'll measure what I have at my dart, and I'll also replace it as well. I'll do that for all lines, my waistline as well, and I will connect with a straight line after I'm done. So for this dress I'm going to be inserting a bust dart because my half length for the front is different from my half length for the back. But before that, I'll go ahead and create my sweetheart neckline just like I did here, and I'll also curve it a little bit to my armhole as well like I did here. Okay, so ensure that it's curvy, it shouldn't be so sharp, so curve it. I'll curve it when I'm cutting out. Okay, so for my difference for the waistline of the front and the back is approximately 1 inches, so I'm going to be taking out that 1 inches as my bust, that's like so. So I'm going to label my pattern just like I'm doing, and I'm going to go ahead and cut out. So this is basically all for the drafting of the front part. So just watch how I'm cutting it out. After cutting the center front, I'm going to go ahead and close my bust darts when cutting the side fronts. So I'll go ahead and close it up just like so, and I'll tape it. Then whatever excess, if I have any shortage, which I did have, so I'm going to go ahead and just blend it in with my curved rule like I did and cut out. If you are yet to subscribe to this channel, kindly hit the subscription button for more tutorials like this. So next we're going to go ahead and draft the back pattern, which is not so difficult. So I've gone ahead to label my chest line like so, my bust point, and I'm going to go ahead and impute all my round circumference measurements. That's exactly what I'm doing here. So I'll just go ahead and connect with my rule like so. So next I'm going to go ahead and bring in my front pattern, and I'll measure where it stopped, and I'm going to take note of it. It's going to serve as a guide to where the back pattern should also stop. So I'll just rule it like so, and I'll connect it. So next I'm going to go ahead and take out my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 4 inches all the way around. If you notice, the back of this dress is a little like it's open, like it's very open, and if you want yours not to be, I will advise you do 2 inches, but for me I'm going to just be taking out that whole 4 inches for the back. But if you don't want yours to open at the back, you can do 2 inches or 3 inches. So I'm just going to be cutting out just like so, and the other side is going to serve as my back pattern, and that's basically all for the drafting. So for our flare at the skirt part is a 180-degree flare. So how to cut it is your waist divided by 3.14. So for my waist, round waist is 32 inches, so I'm going to be adding 1 inches to it, which is going to give me 33 inches divided by 3.14. So I have 10.5 inches, approximately 11 inches. So I'll be cutting my waist 11 inches on fold. So go ahead and fold your flare. I'm going to fold my fabric into 2 first. Then after folding it into 2 like I'm doing here, I'm going to go ahead and fold it again this way, just the way I'm folding it here. So I'm going to fold it, and I'm going to ensure that everything aligns before I impute my measurements. At this point, if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, kindly do so by hitting on the subscription button and turning on your notifications so that whenever I post new tutorials, you'll be the first to get notified. Thank you. So next, now I'm going to go ahead and insert my 11 inches. I'll measure it like so. So when imputing your round waist, ensure that you do it this way. Let it be curving it. You shouldn't do it straight, so just ensure that it aligns just the way I'm doing, and you should get a curve like so. So next, now I'm going to measure how long I want this flare to be. For me, it's going to be 36 inches, so I'm going to be measuring 37.5 there about. Okay, for my joining and folding allowances. Okay, I'm going to be having a shortage at this point, just like you see here, so I'm going to measure what I need to complete it to get a perfect flare, and it's approximately 4 to 5 inches. So I'll go ahead and cut on fold another of this fabric, and after doing that I'll go ahead and join it to this part on fold like you see me do here. So I'll go ahead and you can just pin it down and cut out and join later, or you can just join first before cutting out. So after doing that, I'm going to go ahead and measure my 37 inches all the way round for my flare, just like I'm doing. Ensure that when measuring, your tape is at the point of your round waist that you measured, like so. So I'm just going to do that all the way to get an accurate flare, and I'm going to cut out when I'm done. I'll show you the outcome before I cut out. So yeah, this is what it looks like. You can see the part I joined. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut out. Don't forget to include your allowances when measuring the length of your flare. So because I'm going to be including a zipper to the down part of this dress, I'm going to open the other side so that my back part will be 2 and my front will be on fold. So this is how it came out. You can see how beautiful it is. So next we're going to go ahead and sew. So before we go and sew it, I'm going to include my hairstay to all my patterns. So I've gone ahead to include my hairstay. I also padded the center front for the main fabric. I'm also going to be using this fabric for the lining. I also went ahead to include stay on the lining as well. So I'm just going to be arranging them like I'm doing here, and after arranging them, I'm going to go ahead and join all my patterns together. So just go ahead and stitch from the down part like so. So after stitching, this is what it looks like. You can see how beautiful our cup came out, and our dress is already forming. I'll post a tutorial soon on how you can pad your bustier properly very soon. So I've gone ahead to also join my ropes together. If you observe the dress, it has a rope, so I went ahead to join my rope together. So just ensure yours is long. Mine was too long. I later cut it out, so I'm just going to pin it down like so before closing up with my lining, just like I'm doing at this point. Okay, so from this rope that I cut out, I also went ahead to cut out extra for that I'm going to be using for the back loop as well. So I'm going to go ahead and close up the front part and also the sides just like this. So this is what it looks like by the time I was done joining it. So this is how beautiful is already looking. Give it a good press and we'll keep it aside. Let's work on the back. So here for the back, I've gone ahead to also iron all my stay to it, and I'm going to be placing it like so. And I'm going to be measuring my loops. My loops are like 2 inches long, and I'm going to be measuring 2 inches apart for how I'm going to be fixing mine. So just go ahead and do like so. I'll impute all the 2 inches measurement like so. You can do 2.5 or 1.5 inches, depend on how you want it. But for me, I'll be marking 2 inches where I'm going to be inserting my loop when sewing the lining on it. Next, I'm going to be placing my lining on my fabric like so, and I'm going to be inserting my loop just like I'm doing here on the points I marked. So I'll do that for all my loops, and I'll go ahead and join all sides together except the downside. So this is what it looks like by the time I was done. You can see how beautiful it's already looking. So next we are going to go ahead and measure where I'm going to start imputing my zip. So I'm going to be coming down by 3 inches, just like so, and I'm also going to be marking 7 inches where I'm going to be inserting my zip. And on the other side, I'll also be inserting my pockets after 3 inches. So I'll go ahead and also mark the same 3 inches, and I'm also going to go ahead and cut out my pocket like so. So I'm going to be placing my pocket like I'm doing here. After the 3 inches, I'll go ahead and place one, and I'll go ahead and join it on the top part. I'll go ahead and also place on the back, and I'll go ahead and sew on it. So after sewing, I'm going to place them together like so. I'll place the front and I'll place the back like so, and I'm going to be joining all my sides from the top, and I'll go ahead and close up my pockets just like I demonstrated with my hands like so. I'll do the same for the other side, close like this as well, all the way down. So this is what it looks like by the time I was done. You can see how beautiful the down part of our flare is already looking. Just go ahead and give it a good press, and we're going to set it aside, and we're going to be working on the top part. So go ahead and place the back and the front together, and we're going to be joining the two sides together like so on the wrong side. I'll do that and I'll get back to you on the next step. So this is what it looks like. I'll go ahead and notch the midpoint. I'll also notch the midpoints of my skirt, and I'll go ahead and place the notch parts together like I'm doing here, and I'll also go ahead and pin down all sides. Okay, so I'll place it together like so, and I'll pin down all sides, and I'll go ahead and join the skirt part to the top part. Okay, by the time I was done pinning the sides, at the zipper side, I'm going to be closing up with a band. So I'm going to be cutting a band, which I'm going to be showing you to give that zip part a very neat finishing. I'm going to be cutting like a 2-inch length band, and I'm going to be placing it like so. So after placing it, I'm going to pin it. Just watch the way I'm doing it. Then I'm going to close it up like so. I'll use it to cover up my zipper, and I'll stitch on it. After stitching on it, I'll fold it like so and also close it up like this, and this is what it's going to look like. Okay, I'll go and do that and I'll come back, and this is what it's looking like. This is the zipper part. You can see how neat it came out. So that's practically all for this tutorial, and I'm also going to go ahead and hem the down part of my dress, and that will be all for this tutorial. I hope you learned something from this tutorial. Don't forget to like, comment and share, and also subscribe. Bye.